Something interesting and unusual about a person who has prophecy, a person who has premonition, a person who can find things like a discoverer in the military, a person who's a wind talker, as they used to be called long ago in various adversary situations, is that the Lord speaks, and the Lord can lie. His angels can do that manipulation to keep someone alive and give them hope, even if it's just a mustard seed of hope for the love of his life, the lady of his life. But God tells me the name, pulling it right out of the air, something I've never heard of before. Openly, he does this twice in the last week or so. And openly, it's sort of uncanny that other people will start to pay attention to those statements, and then they'll try to turn it into a lie, because they don't want those people to comply with God. Because if those people comply with God, then people might start to find happiness. I wrote a book to try to help people find more happiness, but a police officer stole it and been literally trying to give it to someone. The woman who has been given that work of mine on Pendulum will go to hell, because that work was not hers, and openly it wasn't right and ready to sell. Then the people who kept my work, when I was supposed to be getting it back, have not never ever responded to me. Now, is that because some police officer impeded my right to talk to people on my cell phone? Or is that because Google Voice doesn't really work and they're interfering with people's rights to communicate? That's offensive to the telecommunication laws that says we have the right to call anyone, we have the right to reach out and touch anyone, like the old AT&T commercials. But there are women that won't receive the calling of the Lord. There are women out there that a man like me falls in love with, who knows she's right for me, who knows she's it for me, who will play in a little bit, and then she'll play out to go off with some total scad who just totally ruins her life. And the question is, does she go willingly, or has she had an audio tone, or a sound, or some sort of in-audio file played at her that she's so convinced that he's the one, that somebody out there decided to restructure God's plan for someone? You see, in my life, God was having me on a path, and he was actually repairing the issues of my body. Taking care of my cellular health is God's control, God's ability, God's power. And people talk about the power of God all the time. But then when someone else says it, besides them, they don't want to believe it. They don't want to believe that God's power enough to heal a mother of cancer, or heal a sister from cancer, or heal another one who's got a polyp, or heal a brother's body because he managed to do something stupid by jumping over a tennis net and break his elbow, or anything like that. You see, the healing that happens comes from the Lord, but it also happens from the wisdom of people that God has gifted with that wisdom. So if God gives me wisdom and gives you wisdom, your wisdom might be different than my wisdom. But when a Lord God in heaven sees abuses of men against his children, he doesn't like it.